Hey guys, it's Razorblade Apple Films here, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Buck 110 Folding Hunter. Alright, so here it is. Let's get over the specs real fast. It's 7.2 ounces, so this is a pretty heavy knife. Very heavy, actually. It's the heaviest folder I have. And that's because it doesn't have any skeletonized liners. It's basically just got two giant chunks of brass. Then it's got the wood, which I believe this is called diamond wood. And it's pretty much resonated, like it's not just plain wood. So yeah, it's all metal construction plus that back spacer, which is pretty much necessary for the function of the knife. It is a lockback, obviously. Pretty much make it a really, really heavy knife. A lot of people would say, is this a good EDC knife? And I'd say no. When I didn't really know much about knives, this was one of the first folders I had bought. One of the first knives I had bought in general was a Buck 119 because I was a Scream fan, and that kind of looks like the one used in the movie. The one they used in the movie is a 120 though. But so that was kind of the first good knife I bought, and I kind of always liked Buck for that reason. So I didn't really like folders. I was more of a fixed blade person. So when I started buying folders, I was reading reviews on this one, and it's a 5-star knife. Everyone's talking about how great it is and how I kind of like the traditional people who'd say, all these people carry tactical folders and everything now, and this is all you really need. And I kind of liked that philosophy, and when I got it, I started using it a lot, kind of as an EDC knife. And yeah, after getting into more other, better suited EDC knives, yeah, I can say this isn't a very good knife for EDC. Just because it's really heavy, doesn't have a pocket clip, two-handed opening. But I mean, as far as durability and function, yeah, it'll serve. But it's a very heavy knife. Like I said, it doesn't come with a pocket clip, obviously, because it's a really old design. It actually comes with a sheath. This sheath is made of leather, made in Mexico. A simple belt loop. Fits in there very snug. Yeah. Not going anywhere, no rattle. But yeah. So I kind of went on a little tangent there. But 3 3/4 inch blade, which is a really, really big blade, especially for an EDC knife. It's made of 420 high carbon steel. I'll talk about that in a second. Clip point, made in USA. A lot of people are going to buy it just for that reason. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and it's got the forever Buck warranty on it, the lifetime warranty, which pretty much means if you break it, they'll replace the blade or send you a new one. I don't really have much experience with warranties because I've never really broken this knife or a Buck knife in general. So, like I said, what is this knife for? It's definitely not an EDC knife, though some people do EDC it, and I guess it could serve as that purpose. I would say this is a hunting knife. That's pretty much what it's marketed as, by the way, Folding Hunter. So yeah, I'd say this is a hunting knife. Does it do that well? Yes, it does. I've skinned probably about 20 or 30 squirrels and rabbits with this knife, and it holds up very, very well. Not something you'd expect with a cheaper steel like 420HC, but it gets very sharp, and it keeps its sharpness throughout the skinning process. With that being said, this area is very easy to sharpen, like from the tip to here. But I always have a problem sharpening this area. As you can see, I kind of screwed it up. It's just, I don't know, something about this area specifically is kind of hard to sharpen on this particular knife. I don't have this problem with any of my other knives. Maybe it's because this doesn't have a choil. I don't know. But I've had this one for about a year. As you can see, there's some scratches on the blade. I don't know if you can really see that, though. There's a lot of scratches on the blade. Tip's not as sharp as it used to be. It's a little round just from constant sharpening. It doesn't hold its edge as well as something like VG10, but it holds its edge better than HCR13 MOV, in my experience. Just to show how sharp it is, right now I've got it to where it can fly through a piece of paper pretty easily. And that was a really thin piece of paper too. So, like I said, it can get really sharp. Very easy to sharpen, except for this little area. I don't know, just has that little. But this is pretty much the only area you're going to be used while hunting. So it's very easy to sharpen steel. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the steel. As far as the design, it's got a nice belly right here, which is, this area is pretty much, like I said, what you're going to be using the most. It's kind of pointed, so some people are going to say, is it good for self-defense? Talk about that later. It's very, I want to say it's a very durable knife. It definitely feels very durable, but I've seen a lot of them break online. Some people have broken the tips off, and you know what? If you're not careful, you are going to break the tip off. It is just a cheaper stainless steel. It's not cheaply made. I've never had a problem with it breaking or chipping, but I've seen others do that. And some people have actually broken the lockback, which I find very hard to believe. This feels like a fixed blade when it's in your hand. As far as ergonomics, it's a very square handle. Some people don't like that. I really like it. It fits my hand perfectly. It's probably one of the best feeling knives in hand that I own. So yeah, aesthetically I like it. The wood, it's got a very classic feel. The lockback, like I said, very tough. You know, it's hard to open one hand. It's pretty much impossible to open with one hand. So, you know, that's something to think about. Which, it's not really like a tactical knife or anything like that anyway. So, you know, for hunting purposes, that's what it's marketed for. I would say this is a great knife. You know, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. Can't really think of anything else to talk about. I've used it for hunting. That's pretty much it. I use it to cut steaks sometimes, and that's pretty much all it is. It's like the meat knife. I don't use it for, you know, daily tasks. I don't think it's a tactical knife. So yeah, I'll roll in some footage of some of the tests I put it through. But other than that, you know, you can pretty much guess how it goes through meat. Meat's not that hard to cut. So yeah, here's the tests. So I guess I'll just conclude right here talking about it. It's a pretty good knife. It's very cheap, very affordable. $30. You get some pretty good steel. It's got a classic look. Everyone knows this knife. It's very big. You know, it's just kind of a no-frills hunting knife. That's really all there is to say about it. And for the price and with the warranty you get on it, I'd say it's a no-brainer. I'd definitely get one. If you're a knife collector, it's such a classic knife. Most people should have it in their collection. I kind of wanted it just for that reason. But I did use it. I don't really have any knife that I don't use. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, thanks for watching, and here's the clips. Real fast, actually, forgot to show the size comparisons. So here is the buck, the very large folder. Here it is next to another large folder I have. Not very large, but I mean, as far as the ones I have, you know, here's a paramilitary 2. Handle is about the same length, a little bit longer blade. And these are the only knives I have with me right now. Here's a Spyderco Delica. So there they are. Give you a good size comparison. Here it is next to a flashlight, if anyone has that flashlight. So yeah, it's a pretty big knife. Most people know what the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 is. A lot of people don't have one though, just because they're kind of hard to find. So, you know, very big knife. So let's do another stab test for this arrow target, the Buck 110. Oh, that did really well. Okay, so the clip point blade is obviously pretty good for penetrating. I don't know if it hit that slice that was already there, so let me try to get it over here. Yep. The only thing I don't really like is that there's really not much of a finger choil right here. So if your hand does slip forward, it's pretty much going to go directly on that blade. Which is why, again, I mean, I don't think this is even a self-defense knife, but, you know, you can see it's pretty good for it. The spine whack test with a Buck 110, kind of nervous about this because I've seen some people's break. Let's just hope for the best. Alright, that last one was pretty hard. I'm not going to go any harder than that. There's really no reason to. I mean, it's a hunting knife after all. But, you know, you might accidentally whack it on a tree or something when you're using it, and then it might close. But, it survived. Hey guys, Razor Blade Apple Films here. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Buck 110. 110. Now, just as